Hey guys, in this video let's see how to install the dual horn setup on the Vstrom SX250. I'll be installing the Minda D70 horn, which is a 12 volt horn rated at 2.5 amps. Start off by removing the OEM right horn, which is held upon by a 10mm hex nut. Meanwhile, do consider subscribing to my channel for more such content. For the LHS motor, we will be removing this bolt and attaching right here. One issue is on the left hand side, the OEM bolt is a tad bit small, so you would need a M6 1-inch bolt and some couple of washers to make the contact nice. This is how the second horn looks after mounting. You could use a different position, but I found this optimal. Now that we are done with the mounting of the horns, it's time to wire them. A common question while installing horns is to use a relay or not to use a relay. To make a decision, let's look at the current spec. The D70 horn states that it will draw around 2.5 amps, but we don't know how much amps the OEM, so let's check that. It seems that the OEM also draws upwards of 2.5 amps, so connecting the horns directly should be fine. But just to be safe, let's add a relay. This is the wiring diagram I'm going to use. I have this pic in the description as well, or you could pause here to understand more. I'll be using these connectors while installing. The one on the right is called the spade connector, which will be connecting to the relay and the horns. The one on the left is the thimble connector, which will connect directly to the batteries and make a very good contact. You don't necessarily need a crimper. I didn't have one and I resorted to using a plier to do the job. Once you crimp these connectors, it's better that you add a tad bit of solder on it to make the connection secure. Let's take a look at my DIY wiring harness. I have 3 sets of wiring harness. The first set connects the left hand and right hand side horns in series, and one end connects directly to the negative side of the battery, while the other end will connect to the relay. Now here I have a fuse. You could skip this part, you could use without a fuse, but for safety I'm using here. I'm using a 10 amp fuse. I am using a makeshift inline fuse connector. You can get the inline connectors online. If you don't have, you could replicate what I am doing. The last set of wiring has 2 male spade connectors which will go into our OEM switches. The other 2 ends will go into a relay. Let's take a look at the relay connections. The 30 number point will connect to our positive end of the battery, in our case through our fuse. The 87 will connect to the other end of our first set of harness, while 86 and 85 will connect directly to our OEM switch. So 86 and 85 can be swapped. Let's take a look at the wire routing. I have the left hand side and right hand side horns connected in series. I'm considering the left pin as ground and the right pin to go to the relay. It doesn't matter because it's an electromagnetic horn, you could anyway switch this. Next, I'm guiding the wire along the chassis, and I am also strapping the relay to the chassis using a zip tie, tucked in the fuse behind the battery. Now let me test the horn. The relay lights up and the horns are good to go. Lastly, let's see how the relays work. Relay is nothing but an electromagnetic switch. So the OEM switch supplies the DC current and magnetizes this coil, which in turn pulls the armature and makes the horn terminal to be contacted directly with the 12 volt. In other words, the OEM switch is relaying the on command to the electromagnetic switch. The reason is we are considering the OEM switch cannot handle high currents, so the electromagnet switch on the other hand can handle high current. Please like and comment if you have any queries. Do check out my other Vstrom DIY videos. Thank you.